We're an institute with nearly 2,000 academic employees and an estate that is recognised as being #1 for its low carbon buildings and green infrastructure. We've got courses in architecture, engineering, construction, green IT, landscape and planning, to name just a few, and experts that are informing local and national governments, as well as working with the International Energy Agency. In fact, it was only logical to bring this together as the Leeds Sustainability Institute.
To create an entity that not only has a regional impact, but also an international impact in pushing the agenda in terms of sustainability research. And we're also hoping to engage quite significantly with the industry and with regional organizations in developing our research agenda.
My main concern has been the extent to which the buildings that we produce actually perform effectively and produce genuine low carbon buildings. Much of our work has demonstrated that very often buildings don't perform as they are designed to perform, and the Leeds Sustainability Institute can add an awful lot of work that will help us to understand that much better.
The Institute has everything from brick crushing civil engineers all the way through to cultural historians, and architecture is not only a bridge but also a focus for a lot of the work.
I'm particularly interested, fascinated, passionate indeed about project management, but particularly where projects can contribute to sustainability, because projects bring about new initiatives, new endeavours, new things. And when we bring about these new things, we've got to have a sustainability angle, and that's where my interest lies.
One of the things we have to do around sustainability is to change the way that we engage with each other within the environmental disciplines.
Well, I do get involved in advising various organisations on sound insulation between different houses and buildings, local housing associations or organisations like that. And some of that linked in with the Sustainability Institute, because the team over there were investigating air leakage and energy efficiency generally in new houses.
If we can harness the expertise that is out there in our region and beyond and throughout the UK and bring it back as an R&D model to underpin the commercial opportunities that we can identify, we can then take both of those bits of information, both of those bits of research that we can create, and bring it back into the classroom for students of Leeds Metropolitan University.
PKE is the Centre for Knowledge Exchange. We exist to connect our research and teaching activities within our university with construction and property businesses and the wider community. Our Green Vision Network creates a platform for low carbon best practice knowledge exchange between external practitioners and our internal Leeds Sustainability Institute academics.
Green IT has two aspects. One is making the IT itself more efficient. The other, which is particularly relevant to the Sustainability Institute, is using technology to measure, monitor and control many of the systems with which we interact every day.
I'm really excited to get involved in LSI to open up new doors to our research area.
At the moment, our research is focused on conservation and heritage policy, on green infrastructure evaluation, on international planning systems and on social housing research.
The Centre has conducted 20 years of research into building energy efficiency. We have the largest set of heat loss data in the UK. Our research has had impact on changes to the building regulations.
The Code for Sustainable Homes, just to take one example, does allow some credit for having good sound insulation between adjacent dwellings as well as for good energy efficiency performance.
What we've done is work with staff from the Institute in terms of helping us develop some of our green agendas in terms of the buildings.
It means that all of the buildings we've built over the last 5 to 10 years have reached exceptional environmental standards. We have passive house design for our halls of residence. All of our new build is BREEAM excellent, and what that provides is a great research facility for our undergraduate teaching, but it also provides a great research facility for the Leeds Sustainability Institute.
We have an ambitious program in terms of developing a number of new programs in sustainability, both at the undergraduate level and postgraduate level. And therefore the work of the Institute, the research work that it's doing, would be very beneficial to the students coming to these programs.
Working with our partners, we'll be providing a front door to those that wish to engage with us and a powerful interface to influence changes needed to make us more sustainable.
building, which is 3, 4, 5 years old, was BREEAM excellent or outstanding, I say, what is it now? Universities have 3 critical roles. They have to make sure that their own built environment, their own estate is managed to the highest possible sustainability standards. They have to develop really good relationships with the local community in which they're based and on whom they depend. And their curriculum has to reflect sustainability in every single aspect, not just on built environment issues, but across the whole piece.
They said they would do. But I think that's curable. There is a great need when you're in government or civil servants and you're trying to formulate impact with policy, that you need to draw on an evidence base, and the role of universities really to help provide that evidence base to better inform the civil servants in making that policy.
Everybody involved in the built environment needs to have the knowledge and skills, and currently we don't. So higher education is at the very forefront of making sure that these knowledge and skills exist within everybody that's in any way, shape or form involved in either new build or refurbishment of existing buildings.
If universities can do that, then young people will be empowered, they will get a sense of ownership around the sustainability agenda, and it is a transformative power when you see that at work.
One of the core themes of the Leeds Sustainability Institute is energy use, and looking at everything to do with energy, from distribution networks down to particularly renewable energy technologies, microgeneration, and some of the softer social sides of energy use and energy monitoring.
The Leeds Sustainability Institute has a number of things. One of the core themes is about business practice and how we engage with business. That engagement process is not just with the commercial sector, it's also with the public sector and the third sector. And it's about improving the efficiency of various projects, construction projects primarily, but all types of infrastructure and construction projects through the supply chain from Tier 1 all the way through to SME.
A core theme of the LSI is design and ecological engineering. And we would define that really as trying to integrate design, or planning design, management and implementation to work in harmony with ecological services.
There's no good building wonderful buildings if people then don't manage them to optimize the benefits of more sustainable design and construction. So this institute has said that's our patch, that's where we can add real value. And it allows it to think in interdisciplinary ways about how the built environment shapes every aspect of people's lives.
Where I'd like to see the Institute, there's a whole load of data that exists in the UK on the performance of buildings, and there is no home for it. And I think the Leeds Sustainability Institute could very well be where that information, that very important post-occupancy evaluation data, could reside within the UK.
Another core research theme is buildings and the environment. In this particular theme, what we're doing is we're looking at the extent to which buildings perform as they are designed to perform. This involves an awful lot of measurement of existing buildings and of new buildings so that we can be sure that the carbon emission reductions that we expect we actually get in practice.
One of the core themes of the Institute is the improving the infrastructure in developing countries. One of the current projects we are working on is the sustainable water supplies for rural villages in Malawi.
It's about developing research-informed policy to create more sustainable places and to do evaluations to create more resilient communities.
One of the key outputs for any research institutes is to make sure that those outputs are actually used in society. And one of the key pieces of advice that I would give is to make sure that when you're presenting your research or disseminating it, that you're writing in the language that the people that you're giving the research to actually understand. So if you're going to write to policymakers, don't write information as if you're contributing towards an academic journal. Write it in a way that academics would understand, but also that policymakers would be able to implement.
Getting that set of connectivities going is going to be critical for the Institute, and I think it's positioned itself very cleverly with that in mind.